Welcome to Recovery, the Whole Enchilada, a podcast dedicated to exploring the many layers of healing and growth within the recovery community. I'm your host, Peg McDermott, along with my co-host,
Heather Hagaman.
Hello, Heather.
Hello, darling.
And together, we share conversations that honor the complete recovery experience. And today's conversation is about staying sober during the winter months. Because it gets quiet, right? It gets quiet. We wanted noise all the time. And we thought, it's been cold in our area and it is the middle of winter. And I thought, that's a great topic. So why don't you kick us off, Missy?
Well, first of all, I'm really cold right now. And that in itself is hard for me. I don't like the cold. Do you like the cold? I don't like the cold.
Well, I'm from upstate New York, so I mean, it's probably
You're
snowing
used to
there
it.
now. I'm used to it.
You know, you mentioned right up from the start, it's kind of a harder month because the holidays are over, the adrenaline has dropped, the light is gone, it's getting dark, it's dark early. And then what do I have left at night? It's like I have to be just with myself, right? And I thought that, there's something wrong with me because I was very nervous to be with myself. And I'd like to reframe that this is just a different season and it just requires different skills, right? And sometimes it's been said that January is a kind of a relapse season or winter time, but it's really about, it's kind of like around your nervous system, and that what we have to do is enjoy exhaling after months of holding it together. So it's kind of neat to reframe this time period like the bear that goes into the cave and, starts to hibernate, and, that we kind of go into that. But as people in recovery, it doesn't mean that it's a good idea for us to go into isolation. Because we know, and hopefully you've been listening to us for a while, and if not, please start at the beginning and listen. We know that connection is the medicine, and that subtle isolation can sneak in, and we've got to be careful with that. It's not about, I do notice in the wintertime I have lower energy, and that's not failure. That's really normal, right? And I just know that I have to create more rituals and around what I have to do to take care of myself. With that, it means, and honestly, I think it's quite wonderful that we have the ability to go online and communicate online, just because it's really hard to come home at night and then have to go back out. Agree?
Right.
It takes effort.
Yeah.
So being able to connect with people in the evening on Zoom is great.
Yeah.
Doing meetings online at night. And also maybe finding daytime ways to connect with people. Meeting with people, going to daytime gatherings is also a great thing to do. So I just feel like I'm not doing anything wrong at this point. I always thought that, I don't know. I think, to be honest, in those early years, I just hibernated and ate my way through the wintertime, to be honest. But it's not meant to be conquered. I think winter's just a time to be lived through with care. There's no fixing. That's it. It's just, we just go through it and we care for ourselves.
What rituals do you do that help you through this quieter time?
I try to get more light on my skin and be in the light. So if there's a window in the house that has light coming into it, I'm like a cat. I want to just go sit and lie in that, or a dog, right? You know how they love that? So light would be important, and pushing myself to go outside. I've been walking outside, even today when it's really cold. I have my layers, my hat, my gloves, and I took a walk outside, and it was really great to just get my face in the light. So I think that's very vital, is one of the first things, is to try to find a way to get light. Some people do that, manufacture that light, the lamp.
Yeah.
For SAD, seasonal affective disorder.
Right.
And they sit under that. Have you ever tried that?
No, I don't think I've really experienced sad in that way. I've certainly experienced sadness in many ways, but that isn't one of them.
Yeah. But I know that it does help people. People have reported that
Yeah.
it does help.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be one ritual. I also do other rituals that are from the Ayurvedic yoga path that I travel. And I'll tell you a really good one, especially when we're feeling very cold and our skin is dry, our hair feels brittle. I do what's called abhyanga, which is oiling. I oil my body. I heat up banyan tree oil is a really good one. And I heat up the sesame oil, which is good for wintertime. And I rub it into my skin. And abhyanga is a way of rubbing into the joints of your body. And I do that. I do a whole oiling, and then I'll sit in front of a heater, and then I'll go and take a hot shower. And here's the thing, we take showers and then we put oil, we put lotion on after showers. And that doesn't really work. It's doing the oiling before you go into a shower because it creates a seal and it holds the moisture into your skin. It's really interesting and it really works. So that would be another ritual as far as that goes. And then, of course, trying to eat, not drinking smoothies and eating salads, right? But drinking warm. I need to be warm inside. I can't add cold into me. So it's just little things I've been picking up through the years. I couldn't do this in the beginning. I didn't really care. I'm gonna get through the day. But as I have learned more and more about nervous systems and how to heal my body and feel in alignment and feel calm and grounded, these are some of the things I have started to do. And eating more soups and root vegetables is just another thing I've started doing. So those are some of the things. What about you?
Well, I enjoy the winter, and so I don't know that it's been in my awareness if the fact that winter is a darker season and a quieter season, I'm not sure that it's ever really bothered me. But then again, I got sober in January. So clearly I was a mess at one time in January. And I think for me, when I drank, it was really about quieting the noise between my ears and that negative self-talk and the self-loathing talk. And I would do anything to fill that time. And I couldn't be idle. I had to be busy. I had to be doing things, feeling quiet and still felt threatening to me in my early recovery. And I knew instinctively that I would have to work through that in our program, and I needed help with it. And it became more of just another season for me. But I really had to get used to the absence of chaos in my life. Like I don't tolerate chaos the way I used to. I liked it before. It was what I was used to. It kept me distracted. And it gave me an excuse to either drink or in sobriety, withdraw. Stopping drinking was just the beginning. There were other things I had to look at in myself and why I felt the need to constantly have noise and distractions so I didn't have to sit with myself. And we can only run from ourselves for so long. And so winter is really that time of year where we do get quieter and still. And we have to still do the things we enjoy. They might be different than during the spring and summer and fall, but I think we can get creative. I think that we have to be careful about becoming bored. I think that is a relapse trigger. And so what can we do as individuals recovering from this disease to healthfully keep ourselves busy and inject some quiet, some naps, some slowing down, knowing we're, like you said, we're not doing anything wrong. This is just a time when we naturally slow down and we hunker down to get ready for spring. And that took me a while to learn through my mentor and through the steps that we work through in this process to figure out, why do I need it to be so noisy? Why do I need these distractions? What's underneath that? And until I got to that point, and I wasn't able to do it alone, I would be constantly running from myself. And I'm grateful that is no longer a challenge for me, but there are times when I don't want to sit with myself. But I also look at those as pointers. Like, if I don't want to sit with myself, if I don't want the quiet, if I want to fill that time, what is it that I'm wanting to distract myself from? Am I bored? Am I lonely? Or do I need some solitude with myself? And that usually comes to me by talking to other people in my sober circle and letting them know, this is what's going on with me. I don't really understand it. Why am I feeling this way? I have some decent recovery and I still feel this way. Well, guess what? We're still human. Life is still daily and things are going to happen, and it's okay because we have tools today. My way of coping was alcohol. My way of coping was using people. My way of coping was not healthy. It was destructive. And today, because I surrendered to the fact that I cannot drink safely, I am a recovering alcoholic, I have learned to quiet that noise and try and get to some answers as to what's underneath it to distract me, because we like distractions.
And I was thinking how funny it is, Peg, that for someone who had to have so many distractions and loud TV going on in every room kind of thing. I've been home alone all day today. I have had no music playing.
Mm.
I have had nothing going on. I mean, it's been quiet, but I feel like I've been hearing music all day. I mean, it's amazing how time shifts, and I love being by myself during on a day like this, cold day like this. And I'm not distracting with music or food or whatever. Okay, I am going to tell the truth. I still have distractions with TikTok. I kind of still do that now and then. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's that dopamine hit.
Yeah, that little social media, like reels on Facebook kind of thing.
Yep.
Little kittens playing in the field.
Yeah.
But so I'm not completely off, but for the most part, it's really amazing to see the progress, and it just takes time. But I think the biggest thing in the early years is that I really needed to stay connected to people. And so I believe in the winter months, one of the best things to do is to schedule connection and not be spontaneous about it, which means that I need to reach out to people and say, hey, let's meet for coffee, because I think I have to make the effort. And we say it's pretty dangerous to be in our head for too long. And I know it's probably about the second day where I know if I haven't been out there, I got to reach out. I got to talk. Yeah, it's nice to be in sports, winter sports.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be a skier and I love skiing. That was great. I love snow. Whenever it would snow here, I would go out sledding and with my kids. And then as they left, I still made an effort when it snows here to go out and sled in my backyard. Although this last time I did that, I had a hard time getting back up out of the sled, and I thought maybe I might retire my sled. But trying to find fun moments and fun times. And I really appreciate people having parties, like putting together parties.
Yeah.
Having a theme.
Yeah.
Like a pajama party coming up. Like just having something fun to do. I like that. I mean, we don't have to, we just tend to the winter and we do what we can do and just understand that we might be more tired and we might sleep more, and that's okay. But the most important thing is that we don't drink today and we don't,
Right.
you know,
To fill
harm
that
ourselves.
space. Right.
Yes.
I think that what your point about staying connected is really important, because I know my disease wants to get me alone and start lying to me, basically. And it really depends on my spiritual condition, how much I will allow that to get into my head. But if I don't reach out to my people like you and say, first of all, feel safe enough to share and say, no, this is what's going on and this is how I'm feeling. And I can't really tell you why I'm feeling that way. I just am. And that's okay. You don't have to have an answer to every feeling you've got. It's just there. Don't resist it. Let it flow through you, because it will. But the point is that the connection was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I didn't want to connect with people. The only time I wanted to connect with people was when I was drinking. And that wasn't really a connection. It really wasn't. And that was more dysfunction for me. And maintaining like a meeting schedule is very important. And I promise you, the motivation will not be there to get up and go out after a full day of work when it's dark to go to a meeting. But I know for me, every time I've gone, I always feel better. I always feel better than I did before I got there. And I know there's something in me, and I know in you and others that are in recovery, that we don't listen to that voice that wants to keep us isolated. And to get out and go to a meeting, maybe go to a new meeting and meet new people and go out to dinner after. It's the meeting after the meeting, which is awesome.
Yes.
And just reaching out when you don't even feel like it, and knowing that I need to throw that line out there. I need to let people know what's going on with me, because that was one of the major symptoms of my disease, was not telling you what was happening and isolating and tamping down feelings and not wanting to share what was really happening, whether it was fear or anger or whatever I was feeling. I wasn't allowed to feel growing up. And so half the time I couldn't even name what I was feeling. But at the same time, it was like, if I don't tell you what's happening, if I don't maintain this connection any season of the year, if I don't maintain this connection and get to meetings and share what's going on with me, and maybe go out after the meeting, grab people for coffee, whatever it takes, you will feel better. But there's the other side of our brain that wants to say, no, I'm going to stay home. I don't want to go out. And I know I don't have the luxury of doing that. I don't have that luxury. I don't want to compromise the quality of my sobriety. And by being alone rather than in solitude, but in isolation, it can be a natural tendency for me to just want to isolate it. It's a kind of an easy default to fall into, and that's why I have to keep an eye on it. And really understanding, am I lonely or is this solitude? How am I feeling? What's going on with me? And picking up the phone and talking to somebody. So that connection, especially during this time of year, but I think any time of year, but I think especially during this time of year when it's darker earlier. As I'm looking out the window, it's dark now and it's 5:18 p.m. And I think sometimes now I get almost some comfort from it. Whereas before it was like, nah, it's too quiet. I can't be quiet. There's no way I can be quiet. And now I feel like it's sort of like a comforting blanket, as long as I know and am aware of what I'm feeling and my motivation. It's always looking at my motives. If I want to stay home, what are my motives? My motives are, I'm really tired. I went to a meeting last night and I'd love to spend time with my beagle, Polly, and have some soup. And I'm really okay. and I might check in with someone just to talk about that. But I also have to trust my healthier inner voice now. And then there are times, and I can feel the difference. And when that motivation isn't quite where I would like it to be, it's a little more on the push you away, distance myself. I can feel that anxiety in me. So I think it's really important to be able to connect with how we're feeling, the motivation behind not wanting to be connected, and just having those tools available and just talking to someone. Sometimes we just need to hear ourselves talk.
We do. And and just a sort of little sidestep a little bit, I was just thinking about another thing that I think that has helped me a lot to be able to enjoy times where it is quiet. I had noticed this year, I have candles everywhere in my house, but they're fake ones and they're on a timer. So they come on at 5:30 and there's one at the end of my hallway. I put these fake ones in my fireplace. I mean, I have them all over and it's just so beautiful it's very magical. And then some have twinkling lights. I have them in my bedroom. I think I went nuts this year with the candles, but it makes me happy. It makes me feel like it just touches me. And so trying to find little things like that to just, yes, it's dark out, but it's magical right now, right? And I like a little bit of stepping out from life, especially after New Year's and Christmas and all the hustle and bustle. It's like kind of nice to sort of just have this like exhale. It's like a long exhale now. Okay, now what I'm going to do. I think too, another tool that I use is journaling and reflection. And so I'll write about, gratitude or, just, or maybe not a resolution, but like kind of a goal that I'm working on, an intention, like a simple intention, which is, there's two that I have right now that I say over and over again to myself. Heather, stay in today. Stay in today. Because this is when I go into tomorrow and catastrophize the future, I'm not here. And I am very overwhelmed. I'm very scared. So stay in today. And then I'm going to pause before I react. These are probably the two places that I need the most work that I have to do. So practice setting some intentions in this time period. Having a winter log, maybe, where you keep track of your energy, your mood, cravings, just some kind of reflection, because that is another part of the tools, is this ability to self-study. And that's a lot of what recovery is about. And then from there, other things I like doing, I like textures. So I love putting on a really nice sweater. And I have these cashmere little gloves I like to wear and in the house because it's so cold right now. But like having a warm blanket, holding a warm mug, even having essential oils. Like there's a candle I have at the front door, and I just took the lid off of it because I knew it was going to smell like pine needles. Even though Christmas is gone, it is such a strong pine scent when I walked in. So even creating an environment that makes you feel safe and happy, gives you some joy, these little moments of joy, I think is really important. I make my bed every morning, and I make it, and I have all these pillows and blankets. I make it look so inviting, so that at night I look forward to, and I do actually get in bed like around 6 o'clock, and I have my computer, and I get all snuggly. So this is a kind of a nice way to go through winter, because soon spring will be here, and I'll be wanting to get out there and get in the garden and walking in the fresh air and looking. So it's kind of a reprieve, right? It's like a retreat.
Yeah.
It's a nice little retreat.
It really is. That quiet practice is awesome. I love the candles and the fairy lights. And I had tea. I like tea, warm tea. I like spending time with my dogs, watching them, because my dogs, I think in general, just know how to chill and relax and be in the moment. and it's a great example for me to follow. So having that quiet practice is important. And also just developing a comfort with our own company. Like, I really enjoy spending time with myself. And I think that's a very important step in our recovery, is really enjoying our own company and also using this time for growth. And a lot of the times that's why winter comes before spring. Wintering and winters can precede breakthroughs too.
Mhm.
And to look at this time knowing there's this quiet working that's going on in my heart, my soul, and that's my higher powers work. And just being open to it, and being open to allowing myself to be changed during this quiet time, and having the healthy practices and reaching out to folks when I need to check in, and keeping an eye on those red flags like isolation or depression or wanting to push through when you're tired. If your body's tired, rest. If you need to talk, we're always here for you, always. And I want to thank you for joining us on this episode of Recovery, the Whole Enchilada. And if you're connected with today's episode, please do share it and like it and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Your feedback helps Heather and I shape future conversations. We love you, and remember that your recovery story, with all its flavors and textures and complexities, matters deeply. And until next time, stay strong and keep growing.